Okay, today is the 20th of August, 2007. We are at the Kingsway Arms in Schenectady, New York, and we are doing an interview with Mr. Andrew Stephen Peck, also known as Bud, and he is a World War II veteran. And may I call you Bud?
Go ahead.
Okay,
It's fine.
okay, Bud. Can you tell me when and where you were born?
Yes, I was born in Schenectady in, what was it,
17.
17 or 18, yeah.
And do you remember what month and day?
November 19th, 1917.
Okay. And whereabouts did you go to school? Did you go to school here in Schenectady?
Yeah, I went to Central Park School and then to high school.
Okay.
And I didn't go to college.
Okay. Do you remember where you were when you heard about Pearl Harbor?
I was in a car.
Uh-huh.
All I can just say, I was on Troy Road in an automobile, and somebody said, "Hey, Pearl Harbor."
Okay.
You know.
Okay. And when, after Pearl Harbor, when did you enter the service? Do you remember when? Was it right away, or were you still in school at the time, or were you out of school?
I was.
Actually, he would have been out of school by
I
then.
was out of school.
Working for GE. Were you working for GE at the time, Bud?
Pardon?
Were you working for GE at the time?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Employed by General Electric?
yeah.
Okay. Were you drafted, or did you enlist?
I enlisted. Yeah,
Okay. And which branch of service did you enlist in?
with the Army.
Okay. And why did you pick the Army? Any special reason?
Well, that's a good question. I think I picked the Army because I felt closer to it than I did to the Navy or.
Uh-huh. Did you have any family members that had been in the Army, like your father or uncle or any relatives?
No, there were no relatives.
Okay.
But I just felt that it was my duty to enlist. This is the reason I felt compelled to.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Were you married at the time?
No.
Okay.
I can't. Hey, we're going back a few years,
Oh,
you know.
okay.
It's not easy
Oh, I understand.
to assemble it, you know.
Do you remember where you went to basic training?
I'm trying to think, did I have basic training?
Everybody did, Bud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's all right. Now, after basic training, did you get any specialized training? Were you in the infantry or artillery or?
I was in the infantry.
Okay. All right.
You're going back, you know.
Okay.
And you served in an artillery battery, huh, Bud?
Pardon?
Didn't you serve in an artillery battery in Italy?
Well, I guess my recollection was that from the beginning I was in an artillery building. And, yeah, I was in Italy.
Okay. With the artillery unit, what was your job? Were you a loader, or did you operate the guns?
My job was, well, you might say I had a knowledge of the way things worked out and the different parts of the I don't know. I can only say I had a lot of knowledge of what was going on. I don't know just
Okay.
how to put it.
So you knew how to take care of the gun and keep it,
Pardon?
you knew how to keep the gun functioning and take care of it?
Were you the clerk, Bud?
Pardon?
Then you run the office, you the clerk? You ran the company? I know you had something to do with supply
Oh, okay.
and
Geez.
we've got some photographs at home,
Okay.
not a lot, and
Okay.
nobody ever discussed this with Bud before.
Do you recall what Italy was like? Did you like it over there when the war
I
wasn't?
liked the climate very
Uh-huh.
much. The climate was nice. And of course, it was different being in the army than being just a citizen.
Mm-hmm.
So many years that
Okay.
my recollection of, I guess there wasn't, the only thing was I was in the army and that was it.
Okay.
You served in North Africa before Anzio, Bud? You
Yeah.
remember serving in North Africa?
I was in North Africa. I'm trying to think how it all started there. I know that the first thing, I enlisted. This is how I got into this
Mm-hmm.
whole thing. And but to recollect what really happened all the time, and
Mhm.
I enlisted and I was in it, and I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what to tell you.
You remember? Do you remember the landing at Anzio?
But I didn't land at Anzio when they first landed.
Mhm.
I came in later,
Okay.
and I don't know what to tell you.
Do you remember what unit you were with? What Army division that was?
Yeah, 536 AAA they called it.
Oh. Okay.
Uh,
Now, when you went overseas, did you go over on a ship? When you left the States to go to fight in the war, did you travel on a ship?
yeah,
It's all right, Bud. Take it easy.
That's all right.
Jesus,
It's a long time ago, Bud.
God, it is. I mean, you know,
Okay.
how'd I go over there?
Yeah, most of them went over on a ship.
Troop carrier.
Yeah, I went over on a ship. I think I'm trying to think what the name of it was.
Did you land in England first and then move on, or did you go directly to? Because most of those ships landed in England, and
Yeah.
then from there they moved somewhere else.
Okay. Well, that's all right.
Boy, we're really going back.
Um,
I think if you give me a little time before you came and started asking, I
Oh, I
probably
did.
could.
that's all right. Do you remember what your reaction was when you heard about the death of President Roosevelt?
When I heard about Roosevelt?
Yeah, what about Roosevelt dying? Do you recall that at all?
I remember when I heard about it,
Uh-huh.
that as far as how it affected me or any particulars about it, well, it's been a long time.
Okay.
Uh,
All right. Do you remember where you were when the war ended?
uh,
Were you still in Italy?
let's see. God, about the years are going by. I haven't given any thought to Italy or in so many years.
Okay.
You were still stationed there when the war ended, Bud?
Yeah, I was. Gosh,
Okay. All right. So once the war ended and you got back to the States, do you remember where you were discharged from? Where you were when you got out of the Army?
I haven't given any thought to
Okay.
my years in the Army in so
Okay.
many years.
A lot of them were discharged from Fort Dix, so.
Yeah, there's a good chance he was because Bud lived here in Schenectady. And he came home from discharge and then went to visit his sister in California because his mother was out there.
Oh.
Uh,
Okay.
and Bud took care of his mother all the rest of her life because his father had passed away while he was.
Okay. He brought her back from California.
Well, she had gone out to visit her daughter, Bud's oldest sister,
Uh-huh.
and then Bud went out there. Was only home for when you came home from the service, Bud. Your mother was in California visiting Margaret, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Susan told me that
Yeah,
you were
I
home
went
for
out there to
a couple of
get
days.
her, something. I think I brought her back. Or
Right, yeah.
something.
And they lived on Union Street in Schenectady.
Okay. Once you were discharged, did you make use of the GI Bill at all? Did you go on to college or school? Or?
No, I didn't. As soon as I was discharged, I was just happy to get out. I
Okay.
didn't.
And you went back to General Electric?
Yeah.
Okay. What did you do for General Electric? What kind of job?
Accountant.
Oh, you were an accountant.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
For 40-some years.
Okay.
How many years did you work?
I was just
How many years did you work for General Electric, Bud? 40? Close to it, 38 years?
about 40, 44 or 5
44
years, something like that. I don't know.
How long ago did you retire?
How many what?
How long ago did you retire from General Electric? Do you remember when? Was it back in the 1970s or?
No.
Let's see. God. Oh, when I retired,
About
it
20.
was only, I put in about 40 years or something like that, 45, and then I retired.
I think it was
Okay.
about it, 1985 or so, I think. In the 80s. You didn't retire until the 80s, Bud. All right? Yeah, it was it was in the 1980s when Bud
Oh, okay.
retired. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Okay.
think you thought about it more than I had.
That's when you started playing golf seriously.
Now, did you ever join any veterans organizations like the VFW or the American Legion or anything like that?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I was just glad to get out of it. I didn't want any part of it anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you stay in contact with any of the fellows you knew while you were in the service at all?
Jesus. I might have for a year or so, but
Mm-hmm.
I didn't formulate any particular friendships when I was in the Army. I just did my job and that was it. I don't
Okay.
know.
Do you?
I can't remember any of the guys.
All right. When you were in the service, do you remember? Did you ever get to see any USO shows or any kind of
Shows?
entertainment?
I think one time I saw a USO show at,
Okay.
that
So
was about it, I guess. I can't.
okay. So you never saw Bob Hope?
Bob Hope in the service. I know that he was one of the most important men. I
Okay.
can't recall seeing him.
Okay.
Boy, you're going back, I tell you.
Okay.
I haven't,
So when you got out of the Army, you got married?
No.
no, I never got married.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. And you worked for General Electric for 40-some years and then retired? And...
Played golf, rode his bike, but stayed in good physical condition for a long time.
Uh-huh.
Was very active.
Well, he looks like he's in pretty good shape
Yep.
physically. Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to say, Bud, before we close?
Well, what is this for? I guess that's my,
Okay, your interview will be going into the New York State Military Museum, and it'll be available for scholars, researchers, family members, etc. This tape will always be with the museum. So any of your relatives down the line, they'll be able to come and view the tape, and if they want, get a copy of it. And we thank you very much for your interview and for participating today.
well, I don't think I've helped you a whole lot.
Well,
but,
hey, every little bit
it
helps.
took me by surprise,
Uh-huh.
and probably if I'd known you were gonna be asking us, I might have had a better,
Well, that's
Give me
okay.
a better-
You did a good job.
well, as I say, it's been a long time.
Yeah, I understand.
And I think most of us try to forget it.
Mm-hmm.
My memory of my service and everything, I've tried to block out. I just,
Uh-huh. I understand.
when you come and ask questions about it.
Do you remember, did your unit suffer a lot of casualties?
My unit,
Yeah.
I just can't even, I have no memory to speak of
Okay. All right.
what I did or
Okay.
what happened or anything else. It's been so many years. I just,
What rank did you have when you were in there, Bud? Were you a corporal or private or?
I was a staff sergeant.
Oh, well, that's a pretty good rank.
Yeah.
So he ended up taking care of the records, and he was a company
Not
clerk.
positive. to be honest with you. I can check the information my wife has at home that's in Bud's house and see
What was the question?
your duties. Your duties as a staff sergeant. You were the supply officer, or is that what you served as?
Well, this is what I was,
Supply sergeant?
supply sergeant. yeah.
Okay. Now, do you remember, did you have adequate supplies? Was there enough of everything? Enough of the uniforms, equipment, etc.?
Yeah, I don't remember not having enough.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't remember a lot of problems being. I had a big job, but I just,
Uh-huh.
everything seemed to
Now,
mesh all right.
now is a supply sergeant, was it a one-man job or did you have people working underneath you?
No, it was a one-man job. I didn't have anybody. I did everything.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And
Bud, do you remember what date you entered the service? 1942 or approximately?
boy, let's see.
You were discharged in the end of 45, right? You discharged in 45?
It sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife might have that information.
Okay. All right.
I don't know. You're going back so far with me. You know, you try to forget it when you've been in there.
Yeah, well,
That's the whole
like I said,
thing.
bud,
When
it's
you ask
60, you
questions,
know,
you try to block it out.
62 years is a long time to remember all this
Yeah.
stuff.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your interview.
Well, I wasn't any help, but I just,
No, you
in
did,
so many years.
I understand. You did a fine job. I appreciate it. And thank you for
Yeah.
your service.
Okay, thank you for questioning me. I don't.
No, you did a nice job. Thank you again, bud. The tape.
Did you come under fire in either North Africa or Italy?
No, let's see. Let's see, in Africa, Italy.
Can't remember.
Jesus, I don't remember.
You were never injured, right?
Never what?
Injured or wounded?
No.
Your equipment worked pretty good over there, right? You never had any problems with your
Oh, I didn't
equipment?
have a problem with
Yeah.
equipment.
Your daily life, day to day, everything was pretty decent.
Yeah.
How were your officers? Your officers pretty good officers?
I had good officers.
I remember that Bud sent didn't you send a nomination for one of his officers who died in combat? What was his name? It was a lieutenant or captain that Bud served under, and Bud.
Put him in for an award.
Yeah, I remember Bud sending an application in for something where you recognize meritorious service.
Recognize what?
Meritorious service. That officer that you sent that in for, I can't remember his name. But I remember that Bud sent it in, and if I could.
Yeah, any information, see, we do a paper file on every veteran, so that would be permanently included in that.
Geez, I had about, I think it was about 3 years and 3 months of this particular service. I can't remember.
Yeah, well, that's what I said, that'd be 1942 when you went in,
Mhm.
because you got out, I'm pretty sure. That stuff I can find, I'll have my wife
Okay.
find it. Bud and I discussed this several times, but memory is such that,
Yeah.
what do we say, Bud was 11, 19,
1917.
1917.
But let me ask you one more question. Being that you were with an artillery unit, did the noise have any effect on your hearing?
Oh, I don't think so.
No?
If it did, it's pretty hard to tell, but I don't remember having any effect.
Okay. All right, well, thank you again.
You're welcome.